Now I'm about to show you guys something that's real anti-Christ and real anti-Christ agenda, but don't freak out.
Maybe sin isn't what we thought. Maybe we're not broken. Maybe God sees us as already good. Maybe sin isn't what we thought. Maybe we're not broken. Maybe God sees us as already good. Maybe sin isn't what we thought. Maybe we're not broken. Maybe God sees us as already good. Because in the Bible, God said it was good after he created us. So what if there is no hell? And what if heaven is right now?
Guys, that was AI, artificial intelligence. Somebody made that. Not only did they make fake preachers, but they made the preachers completely contradict the word of God. Now you're probably thinking, how could that be bad? Guys, there are many people who are gullible, and many people who watch that would actually believe that, believe it or not. Look how creative they're getting with AI. This is why it's incredibly important to have discernment nowadays and to truly dive into the scriptures yourself, to study thyself approved. Guys, we're coming into a real time where what you see and think is real may be fake, and what you see and think is fake may be real. This is where the Spirit is really gonna have to step in and give you true discernment on what's real and what's fake. We already got the Episcopal Church that's confusing individuals. Now you got AI making what seems to be real, but is actually fake. Not only fake, but false, anti-Christ doctrine. Church, if you never rose up before, if you never lifted your voice before, if you never stood on anything before, now is time to truly stand on truth. Amen. God bless you all in these times.
First question they'll ask is, what do you do? And so I say, I live. And they say, no, I mean, do you work or what? And I said, no, I just live. And they said, well, you must do something, because their whole orientation is toward job, occupation. This is their whole life.
Money. We're doing the hardest work in the world because we're growing. We're trying to change. And that's a lot harder than staying in the same rut and going along year after year doing the same.
These were the first ever woke people that were out there. I feel like that's kind of why they banned psychedelics, because people were kind of like catching on to what's really going on. I guess you can say breaking out of the matrix.
Russia took pyramids and they hollowed them out. They built hollow pyramids in a laboratory setting outside, and they began to plant crops underneath the pyramids and took the same exact type of crops, planted them on the outside of the pyramid. And in these experiments, the crops they planted inside the pyramid structure in the sacred geometry grew almost twice as fast and were almost twice as abundant as the ones that were planted on the outside in the same exact soil. So they found out that there's something to do with the angles, right? Accessing these angles or these angels, to accessing this higher dimensional energy that feeds the third dimension that can be harnessed and utilized by third dimensional life forms. And so, this is incredible, because then that same experiment was replicated many times. And we now know that a pyramid structure harnesses natural energy, right. Not just harnesses it, but can actually transmute it into living things.
Have you ever seen, they just recently made images of quantum entangled photons?
No, I mean, I know about quantum entanglement, another great mystery. I haven't seen the images.
Spooky action at a distance.
Yeah.
Take a look at what this looks like. Quantum entangled photons look like a yin-yang. Like, exactly.
Oh, awesome.
Exactly. That's it. That's a quantum entangled photon.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Are you kidding?
Oh my God.
So each one contains at its center a bit of the other.
Exactly. So maybe someone knew this thousands and thousands of years ago. The idea that the Chinese or whoever created that initial symbol, the idea that they just stumbled accidentally upon an actual image of quantum entangled photons, very unlikely. That just seems too insane and too amazing.
I feel like they definitely knew about it, because that's a weird coincidence to stumble upon.
Every night when you go to bed, just when you're just falling off into sleep, consciousness is disconnecting. The next period of your brain operation while your consciousness is disconnected is theta, which is the same brain function as in the first 7 years. So if you put a pair of earphones on at night with a program of what you would like to be true in your life, as soon as your conscious mind disconnects, that program is playing. It's not playing into your conscious mind. That's shut off. It's now going straight into the subconscious mind. So it's called auto-hypnosis. You don't need to go see a hypnotherapist. You just have to pick out what program would you like to have that you don't have.
What is this shit?
That stuff makes pure mescaline seem like ginger beer, man. Ginger beer? Adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome?
There. I stomped him and pulled all his teeth out.
I remember thinking, Jesus, what a terrible thing to lay on somebody with a head full of acid.
But we have a problem. That bastard cashed a bad check downstairs and gave you as a reference. They'll be looking for... Anyway, the last thing in the world you want to do is go to this hotel again. They'll trace the call and put you straight behind bars. No, I'm moving to the Tropicana right away. I think it's a different name, but I'll let you know what it is. And, I gotta get off. Well, we have this phone tap, baby. Yeah, I know, it was horrible, but it's all over now. Oh my God, there's someone at the door. There's someone at the door. Hey! Hey! Oh, I'm innocent! It was you! It was you! Don't put that thing on me! Well, that's that.
We made it. This is the Prada store in the middle of the fucking desert. Found it. This is like legendary find right here in the middle of the map. Literally nothing fucking around here, y'all.
Oh yeah, there's definitely got to be like a base underground for that. Look how maintained it is.
NASA owns the rights to the interior of the Great Pyramid.
They also own the rights to a section of the Grand Canyon. Took a helicopter down into the Grand Canyon. They said we can't walk to this area. Area I heard had old carvings or something would be over in this area. So I started trying to walk that way. And this guy pops out of nowhere with all black on, black hat, black military outfit with no logos, and an AR-15. It tells me, halt, you can't go any further. I'm like, why? I said, what's going on? Oh, didn't they tell you couldn't come over here? I said, well, they did, but I'm thinking, I just want to see, what's over here. Can you just tell me, sir, like, why can't I come over here? He says, NASA owns the rights to this section. You can't come over here.
Do you have any theories of why that is?
This got to be technological. Starts at something with space. And then also, where else? Chaco Canyon. Same situation. They actually own the rights to those round former things that look like they might have been domes or whatever. That now there's no dome, but you can see those round circles. So it's like, so wait a minute, what's going on here?
They're not just garden rocks over there. I look-y always thought it was the gold. Like, I think it was El Dorado's gold that was supposedly found there. Supposedly, I think.
Check this out though, real quick. I want you to watch this because this is fucking bananas.
Out to empty ponds that residents said were bottomless, the Longyou Caves, located in the village of Xian Beichun in Zhejiang Province, China, are a massive and majestic ancient underground world. The Longyou Caves, also known as the Shaonanhai Stone Chambers, are thought to date back to at least 2,000 years and represent one of the largest underground excavations of ancient times, as well as an ongoing mystery that has confounded scientists from every discipline that has researched them. Scientists from archaeology, architecture, engineering, and geology around the world have no understanding who or why the Longyou Caves were carved into the earth. Currently, 24 hand-carved caves encompassing a staggering 30,000 square meters have been found so far.
Jesus.
Each grotto is carved into solid siltstone and descends roughly 30 meters down, with stone rooms, bridges, gutters, and ponds. The Longyou Caves are supported by pillars that are evenly dispersed throughout the caves, and the walls, ceiling, and stone columns are uniformly decorated with chisel marks in a pattern of parallel lines and ornate designs. Despite their magnitude and the work required to build them, no indication of their construction, or even their existence, has been discovered in archival sources. Despite the fact that the whole excavation involved about 1 million cubic meters of stone, there is no archaeological evidence explaining where that amount of stone went, nor is there evidence of the work being done.
Damn.
Furthermore, there isn't a single historical source that mentions them, which is extremely remarkable given the scope of the undertaking. Despite decades of analysis, the Longyou Caves mystery remains essentially unsolved.
What the fuck, dude?
It's crazy that we've lived here for so long but still know little to nothing about this or anything that's on this planet. If they think this is crazy, imagine what the tunnels underneath the whole United States look like.
Okay, so you know when you see movies and they show people with different types of vision like this, like you see the different colors, x-ray and all of that. This is what it says on a Gov website. It says the pineal gland has photoreceptors sensitive to different wavelengths of light. Now this is the light spectrum. The colors right there is all the types of light that you could see, all the rainbow colors. These in the gray is all of the light that you cannot see. These are all the different types of wavelengths of light and the different devices that put them out. See where the light bulb is at? That little rainbow color, that's all you can see. These are all the other types of light that you cannot see. These are the types of light you can see, type of light that you cannot see. In the Lucy movie, it shows her interacting with the radio waves, the cell phones, Superman seeing the x-ray, Lucy looking at the trees, seeing the UV light.
Me too. You see this?
And in this movie, Free Guy, you can see that he puts the glasses on and he sees a bunch of other stuff that shows that he's in a simulation, aka video game. Now back to all the different devices that put out these different signals. You see radio towers and all of that. Everybody was always talking about the 5G. Oh, it's gonna kill us and this and that. They could have been putting up 5G to make the city look like this. And y'all, Pineal is closed, so you can't even see nothing. You just see regular buildings while people activated is seeing something completely different. You're just there as being a NPC.
I know I might be dragging this, but this kind of reminds me of that one movie Glass, where like, I think with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson, like where they're being told they don't actually have powers, but they're being like brainwashed and they're actually superheroes, but like they're trying to control them and tell them they're not. This is the clip.
They got it wrong in the comics. They talk about secret evil groups trying to stop the heroes. I don't think we are particularly evil, and we don't choose sides. We try to stop both of you. If there is one of you, the opposite of you appears, it escalates. We step in. There just can't be gods amongst us. It's not fair. It has worked just fine for 10,000 years, our way. Take consolation in the fact that you were right about your theory. Be at peace.
What if there really was gods on this planet, really were like different people with powers, and they shut all that down because, like they said, we can't coexist together. It's just not possible. And the reason it's not possible is because they don't like having somebody stronger than them, knowing that they can be taken out. So I guess you could say that's kind of debunked, because how would humans take out God? Real or seem real is like the fact that these are big time directors and like actors that are telling us this. People that are against, I guess you could say, amongst the elite. So that's why when I say, like, when they put certain things in movies or shows or like subliminal messaging, it's like, it's damn near almost coming straight from the source. The people that are actually in some sort of power or know something of something are telling us through movies, because like I refuse to believe it's just people in their imagination, bro. But that's just me.
I bet you didn't know about the doctor who performed surgery on himself. There was a group who was on an expedition to the Antarctic, when suddenly the doctor on their team, named Leonid, started feeling very unwell. And it just so happened when the heavy winter was rolling in. Because of his experience, he knew that his appendix was going bad. And if he didn't remove it, it was going to rupture. But he was the only person who could perform the surgery. And it was impossible for anybody to travel out of their compound, or to get a helicopter in to help. But being the surgeon that he was, he knew what he had to do. He started by injecting the area with Novocaine. He couldn't give himself any other kind of anesthetic, because he had to be completely coherent for the surgery. He had the rest of the team standing around him, ready to go with adrenaline shots in case he passed out. The Novocaine would only numb so much, pretty much only the surface skin. Sorry y'all, this had to be censored for TikTok. But in this photo you can see him pulling out his own intestines to reach his appendix. Which, by the way, he could feel, because the Novocaine only numbed the surface. But hey, the surgery was a complete success. He was able to remove his own appendix and sew himself back up. The surgery from beginning to end took 2 whole hours. He stated that he became very lightheaded and very dizzy during the surgery. But through sheer willpower, he was able to make it through.
Say the weird thing. People are desperately seeking realness.
My Roman Empire is Capgras syndrome. It's a rare psychiatric disorder where you believe that your spouse, significant other, or relative, someone that is really close to you, has been replaced by an imposter. You genuinely believe that this person looks exactly like the person that you know, but somehow it's just not them and they're an imposter. Now, there's a lot of leading theories about why this happens, but it's still not fully understood. The leading theory is that there's a disconnection in your brain between the part that helps you with facial recognition and the part that allows for emotional recognition. So you don't feel any emotions when you see this person, but you recognize their face. That's just simplifying it. But it is a rare condition, and sometimes it can be caused by neurological things like a TBI, some kind of injury, or psychiatric things like schizophrenia. However, it could also just happen out of nowhere in isolation on its own. And there's no treatment for it. The treatment really is you can have medication for it just to help with some of the delusions and psychotic symptoms, but there is nothing that can fix how you're going to recognize this person and feel about this person. You can do talk therapy, but in talk therapy, it's just a lot of challenging your beliefs and cognitive distortions and whatnot. But you can't fix that part that's happening in your brain. And sometimes I wonder what I would do if I was in that situation.
Come to the after party. I think we'll go sleep. You got to go sleep tonight on the biggest. Well, after party. I'm just having a party. Word? Oh, okay, my bad. Hold up. My boy Drew. Yo, Drew, where you at?
Crazy that even after Diddy, people still do those after parties. Like, an after party in Hollywood doesn't even sound appealing anymore. It just sounds like straight up what we think it is.
Remember when a few years ago that YouTuber supposedly went missing after creating a portal to Sedona inside of his bedroom?
Missing YouTuber and his viral video. It's all part of a mystery centered around Sedona, Arizona.
Of course, the popular tourist destination that we all love and know, and it's known for its scenic beauty and shopping. But don't forget its mysterious side. Crystals and energy vortexes are a big reason why some people visit Sedona.
He shows himself on video using his computer with a variation of frequencies. He also has this light box on his bed.
It can be used for science experiments. I would say so.
I'm speeding this part up so you can see it. It's much slower in the real video. But you can see the little box working, and it's creating the portal that's supposedly showing Sedona on the other side. His name was Funky Fathead on YouTube. He was notorious for opening up these portals using sound frequencies. Not long after opening up the portal to Sedona, his account went inactive. A lot of people told him that traveling through these portals could be very dangerous for him.
I did not leave with this on my back. I was gone approximately 15 to 17 minutes. I usually don't like to be gone longer than 25 minutes per trip. This is a new one. This is a new thing.
Oh, no way. Forced splits and not making a sound?
And we also have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle and threatens you, you have a right to flee for your safety. And so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you. You don't have to sit there and just be a sitting duck and let the mob grab you out of your car and drag you through the streets. You have a right to defend yourself in Florida.
Morgan Ashley live for us in studio tonight. Good evening, Morgan.
Good evening, Sean. So Representative Scott spoke this morning at a legislative committee in Boise. She's worried about the possibility that people are eating other people and may not know they're doing so. She says with the rise in human composting, which is legal in several states as a means of dealing with human remains, she was concerned about what other uses may be found. During today's meeting, she explains what finally convinced her to act.
I was on a plane this summer, and I was watching, you just kind of randomly go through channels, and I watched a video of some food show, and the three contestants tasted the food, and they had to guess what was in it. It was some kind of a sausage, and one of the options they told these people that was in the food was human flesh. And I thought, at that point, and this was on a plane this year, I thought, this is going to be normalized at some point. The way our society's going and the direction we're going, this is going to be normalized.
I've come to a conclusion where if we are eating human meat,
it's good, bro. It's good.
Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
It's good.
McDonald's,
it's good.
KFC,
it's good.
Zaxby's, I just had that.
It's good.
Arby's is not good. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, is that it? I didn't know this was on Netflix. 2025, huh? How do you guys feel about Astroworld? Do you guys think that was an actual, like, sacrifice or, like, a ritual thing? Or do you guys think it was just a coincidence where there was many unfortunates? Even the head right there, it looks like the entrance to some, like, creepy or horror amusement park. And he also had an upside-down cross on the stage. So it's like, that was kind of a dead giveaway.
You think you're going to cure cancer? It's a $194 billion a year business. Chemotherapy is big business. Yeah. You think if you came up with a pill, I got a pill that cures cancer, you'd maybe take 3 steps and you popped in the head.
Dead.
I got a car that runs on water. Dead. Found hanging. I figured out a way to fucking power freak. Here's fucking another guy hanging.
Accidentally
it doesn't make it because it's billions of dollars involved, and so it's not going to stop. You can't. It's like, look, we don't live in a Walt Disney movie. The world is obviously very corrupt and it's real evil.
Shoot, I don't even know. What if full time they have treatments and cures for everything, but they just don't like let us know about it? I wouldn't doubt that either.
We will shut off the machinery that feeds money into Iran. We will no longer have 100 hostages still in captivity, Israeli and American and otherwise, by Hamas. We need America to wake up and prioritize Israel. We need to bring home Americans and end this war, bring home Israelis, and make sure we stand by our #1 ally in Israel.
Dude, that blackmail must be so bad, bro. It must be some disgusting stuff there, bro, because let's be real. This is the United States of Israel. This isn't America. This isn't the land of the free, home of the brave. This is the United States of Israel at this point. And I've seen some of you guys say, like, you guys notice that I post some clips that others don't. I assume these are the clips you guys talk about. like I've checked out a few other reaction channels that do these kind of same videos, but these other bigger channels don't post this type of stuff or talk about it because I'm guessing it's in fear of losing their channel or platform. That there is the exact reason why the Epstein files didn't come out when he was talking about them. Because if Kash Patel, the FBI director, is prioritizing Israel, then that means he's bought and he's in the pockets of Israel.
How many nuclear weapons does Iran have as of today?
Right now, I hope none.
Okay, how many does Israel have?
No idea.
No idea? You were in the government. They don't tell you that stuff.
No idea.
Who do they tell?
No idea.
Do you recognize the hypocrisy of Israel having a secret illicit nuclear weapons program that it won't open up its doors to and won't talk about, and then lecturing everyone else in the region about nuclear
Absolutely
weapons?
not.
You know why? You talk about hypocrisy. If an Iranian guest came on my show and I asked him about Iran's nuclear program, he said, I don't know, I'm not going to talk about it. Would you be okay with that? You'd be outraged.
Of course.
And yet you sit here as a former minister of the Israeli government saying, oh, I don't know, never talked about nuclear with anyone.
Because there was like 16 United Nations Security Council resolutions against Iran.
And there is against Israel. And there is against Israel as well.
About
your nuclear program.
No.
Yes, there is. UN Resolution 487. Let me read it to you. The UN Security Council in 1981 says, calls upon Israel urgently to place its nuclear facilities under the safeguards of the IAEA. Why haven't you done that?
Because...
How do you justify a war that nobody wants?
There may be an event somewhere in the world. It's not just the missiles or drones they'll fly to Israel, but the Iranian IRGC, the very leadership the Israelis destroyed last night, has been working in nearly every country around the world, including the United States of America, to plant little terror cells all across the world.
Charlie Kirk this morning, quote, keep your head on a swivel. Biden let millions of people into America. Iran might activate some sleeper cells against Americans. Stay armed.
Iran or Israel? If that's coming from Charlie Kirk, I'm pretty sure Israel is going to be the ones activating sleeper cells.
Anybody buy this still? You see, now that it's been confirmed that U.S. forces are going to be deployed, the priming campaign for some kind of attack is in full overdrive. Kind of like how they've been telling us for 30 years that Iran is 2 to 3 months away from building some kind of nuke. The irony here, of course, is the country that actually has a secret nuclear arsenal. Look, I'm gonna be real. We as regular people have
20 to 400 nuclear warheads in Israel. They weren't playing about that Samson option. I promise you that.
almost no control if our deranged warmonger leaders want World War III. You know, we just do the best we can and be as loud as we can be. But at the very least, we should at least know who the real king, the actual king of America is, and who we fight our wars on behalf of. Godspeed to us all.
That's the United States of Israel, baby. It's crazy because people will see clips like this and still like not even care. Like, I probably can't even put on here, but like I have multiple where it shows like Trump with, you know, his small hat people. Look, there's this one right here. This one's pretty crazy.
United States must get involved in this fight in order to protect the United States. God bless America. God bless the United States of Israel.
What was that? Like, I have so many of these clips and videos on here, but I don't want to like just, you know, spam them because people are going to be like, all right, bro. Like, what, you know, I don't want people to start calling me names or thinking I'm whatever. But honestly, I don't really care. Like I say, I put these clips in front of the screen for you guys so you guys can kind of like be more aware. And if you're not aware already, you should be.
What in the hell is that? Did you see that? Oh my god! Oh my god, it just went straight to the water. Oh my gosh.
Hold on.
Where'd it go?
I still see glowing in the water. It's
These so-called found the real Kanye West clips are kind of sad, but like strange at the same time, because Kanye did say back then that this is basically what they do to him. They were trying to destroy his image and make him seem like, you know.
This is what they hide from you. Why are there underwater pyramids in Japan? And why do they look exactly like the pyramids in Egypt? This could change everything we know about ancient civilizations. But that's not even the craziest part. In ancient Japanese texts, there are cryptic references to a sunken civilization, saying, "The structures beneath the waves hold the secrets of the ancients." These pyramids were made thousands of years ago, so who built them? This is where things get scary. In recently analyzed ancient documents, it said that these underwater pyramids weren't natural formations, but man-made structures created by an advanced civilization known as the Anunnaki. The texts specifically mention that the Anunnaki, who also built the Great Pyramids of Egypt, constructed these underwater pyramids as part of a vast network to harness and control energy from the ocean. However, once the Anunnaki left Earth, their advanced knowledge was hidden, and the true purpose of the underwater pyramids was concealed to keep this powerful technology from being misused.
Antichrist is going to be a hybrid of a human alien that is, in theory, a creation of the fallen angels, and they will have this power like the Nephilim did, of like this men of old and renown, you know, like they were like they're just powerful. The connections of UFOs, angels, and basically what is going to transpire involving like all this news coming out.
Yeah.
He made this documentary it was released in 2007, I believe, but he had started the research of it 10 years prior to that. So I think 1996 or 1997.
Okay.
And he said at this time there was no internet really. Like you couldn't just like Google stuff willy-nilly. So all of his research is based out of libraries and books and talking to theologians and all this different craziness. So it's like very rigorous research.
Yeah.
And it is so crazy, the connections that he makes with UFOs, with fallen angels and what he thinks, or what the guy that he interviewed, who was this like older dude who was a professor at some theology school, seminary, and the predictions of what it's going to look like in the end times regarding aliens in this false flag and the Antichrist and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And because I found it very interesting that Albert Pike, where he wrote about the World War III, where he's like both Christianity and atheism will be destroyed. So atheists who don't believe in a God or a creator will now believe in a creator. And but then Christianity will be destroyed as well. So there's going to be this Antichrist in a sense, you know?
So he said the nihilists too. They believe you can know nothing. So a truth will be revealed is what they're saying.
That's leading to like the one universal government, right? Like that's the idea. That's the idea.
Because he
control.
talks about all these nations just destroying each other.
For Christianity to be destroyed, of course, there are believers that would prevail through something like that. And so that's maybe the great deception, but then also could we deduce that maybe the rapture happens
at a
similar time frame?
Yeah. It gets complicated talking about the rapture because there's so many people that believe it's this, or it's like there's no rapture, and it's like who knows?
Yeah.
You know, but like
maybe we should go around and actually just share like what?
Go ahead.
What? It's not fun. Maybe we should each go around and share our own opinion of who we think the Antichrist is. I'll go first. Oprah. No, I'm kidding.
But they did say in that documentary they think that the Antichrist is going to be a hybrid of a human alien that is, in theory, a creation of the fallen angels, and they will have this power like the Nephilim did, of like this men of old and renown, you know, like they were like they're just powerful.
Yeah.
And that because it talks about in Revelation that the nations will be at war with God. And it's like, well, what does that mean? What does it mean to be at war with God? But if we're talking about spiritual warfare and UFOs and aliens being angels and fallen angels, that's a lot of quotes.
That's a lot of quotations.
Could angels and fallen angels, is that what we're seeing that are UFOs? And do they in fact possess this technology to where they can be like fighting? Because there was a war in heaven, you know?
Yeah.
And the fallen angels lost.
And we look at these UFOs that immediately can snap into another, just evaporate.
Yeah.
Is that another dimension? Is that traveling through time and space? Is that whole thing is just wild.
Was there a war or a casting out?
There's a war, right?
I mean, that's the thing. It's just I don't want to not splitting hairs at that point, but it's like it just depends on your definition of what you mean war is.
No, I'm saying there's a war in heaven.
Dude,
that's what
my brain, every time you make any of these like end times assertions, immediately starts like thinking back to passages and how much study I feel I need to do. I'm like, I need to bust out all of the concordances and
Revelation 12, verse 7 through 10. It says, then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven.
Good evening. Tonight, guests are reminded that the shadow people do live in your walls, and the CIA is watching you.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here. If you guys did enjoy this video, let me know by leaving a thumbs up and or subscribing if you guys are new. I didn't think you guys were actually going to hit 100 likes within that span, so I kind of had to rush this one, but that was pretty awesome. If we go crush 150 likes on this video, I'll post another video tomorrow. But that's only if this hits 150 likes. Because keep in mind, I got to find the videos too first. So that's kind of why I had to rush this one. Like, I got to find them quick and then post them. But anyways, as always, I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. And I'll see you guys in the next one.